Does my heart good to see Navy Thomas here.
Oh,
of course. Navy, good to see you. I believe that Navy Thomas is probably the longest running viewer of the Voice of College Football who actually jumps into the live chat and comments. He's been watching forever. So Navy Thomas, appreciate that. Is there anything to what Tom is saying here about need to recruit more on the west end of Nebraska?
Well, there's always good players that come out of western Nebraska. Case in point, you got Garrett Nelson right now. He's one of the best I've ever seen come out out of the state, period. I don't care what part of the state. And there's another guy right now, and we talked about him last week. His name is Vince Genatone. He plays at North Platte High School. And he came in and did a private workout last week with the coaching staff. Has not received an offer yet, but I wouldn't doubt it if he does receive one fairly quickly. But you've got to take the guys there that are good, guys that can help your program. You can't overlook them, and that was a big problem under the Bo Pelini and Mike Riley eras, where they didn't look around most of the states. If you weren't a Lincoln or Omaha guy, chances are they weren't even getting eyeballs on you. So yeah, those were some problems. And with Scott Frost and his staff in here, with a lot of guys that have ties to here or played here and stuff like that, they don't overlook the western part of Nebraska. And there's a lot of talented kids, like we talked about last week from that Grand Island jamboree, that there's 3 very, very impressive kids. I mean, 2 other ones besides Genatone that I'm super impressed with, that are guys that might end up in the 2023 recruiting class for the Huskers.
I should know this, but where did Scott Frost play high school football?
He played, what was it, something Creek.
But it was in the state of Nebraska. When I say where did he play? Did he play out of state or in state?
Oh, no, he was in state.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't.
So my point is,
I'm an idiot for not knowing.
Well, yeah, no. I didn't want to pin you down on that. I was just, I was more taking it from the standpoint of in state or out of state, because I got to think that he's going to have more appreciation for every nook and cranny across the state, as opposed to a guy coming in from Ohio like Bo Pelini, or coming in off the West Coast like Mike Riley, that's going to say, okay, we got 2 population bases. That's where the numbers are. And the strategy makes sense to a certain extent. We're not going to waste our time combing through tons of small towns just to find the one diamond in the rough. So that seems a little brutal and coarse, but you got to play a numbers game, and you got to figure out what's going to work best for you. So there are different ways to do it, and that's got to be the way they approached it.
Well, you probably aren't aware that his dad is a legendary high school coach from here. His dad, Larry, coached. I can't even tell you how many programs in the state over his years, and is one of the most winning coaches ever in the state of Nebraska. And unfortunately, Larry passed away last year. And Scott's mother was also a coach here in the state, and she, I think she was an Olympic athlete, I believe, and it was a big-time athlete here at the University of Nebraska. And so, yeah, their ties have always been Nebraska, and so he knows the state in and out because, like I said, I think it's Wood River, I think, is where his high school was. That he's lived in smaller towns in the state, and then obviously here in Lincoln. And the funny thing is that coming out of high school, he committed to Stanford and went out and played for Bill Walsh at Stanford. And after a couple of years at Stanford, he's like, I don't fit here. I want to go home. And you know the rest of the history after that. So yeah, he knows the state of Nebraska in and out, and it's been ingrained in him ever since he's known what football was.
Yeah, it's interesting that you note there, Greg, not on the Nebraska beat, but about Bill Walsh, that after that legendary career, first he was at the collegiate ranks, then he goes to San Francisco, obviously wins 3 Super Bowls, that he did get the itch back and go out to Stanford, not for long, but in the early 90s, and actually fielded some pretty good football teams with Stanford before he hung them up for good.